Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I am glad you made it. It is official. It is announced. We do have a pay raise coming in 2026. Now, this pay raise is through COLA, the cost of living adjustment that was just announced. And look, it's a little bit late. It's about a week and a half or so late in the making here, but we did get the numbers in, and the Social Security Administration crunched the numbers, compared them to last year, and said, bam, here you go. And now, through Congress and through the legislative process, the VA is allowed to mirror that Social Security increase. There's a couple different things I'm going to do here. I'm going to talk about what we are going to see impacted at the VA. Now, look, Social Security, COLA, that's going to happen. Yes, there's also other impacts out there for COLA, but I'm going to hyper focus in on veterans benefits. What benefits are actually going to see an increase? It's more than just disability compensation. And I'm going to give you a few of the numbers on what that looks like based on just a single veteran, no dependents, on how much they would be seeing. Everybody's different, right? So if you're at 30% and you have dependents, you don't have dependents, you have a spouse, you have children and parents as dependents, it changes all the numbers. So it's too hard to give everything, but I'll give just the basics on a few different percentages to throw that out there for folks. And with that, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate it. Every thumbs up, every minute watch really does help the channel, and I appreciate your support very, very much. Now, I'll say this up front, 2.8% increase. Now, don't turn this off, because there's a couple different things here. One, it doesn't just affect you receiving disability compensation. There's other things that it impacts. We're going to go through that list. Number two, I'll give you the dollar amounts on a few different percentages as a single veteran, just to give some sort of idea on where it's at. Obviously, the lower the percentage you are, if you're 10% rated, you're going to get a very small increase. If you're 100% rated, it's going to be a more substantial increase, which is great. With that being said, don't rely on COLA as this is going to make my life better. This is just a bump, and it's better than nothing, right? It's better than being negative, which it never would be, but it's better than that. It's better than not getting anything. So any additional is welcome. However, if you are not sure if you're properly rated, if you're sitting there at a 30, a 40, a 50% rating, or whatever it is, if it's not 100%, well, should you be higher? Did you miss something? Did your condition get worse? Was your condition not rated appropriately the first time? Were you rated 10% for migraines, but it should have been a 30 or a 50? These things, even Stan agrees, these things really do matter, and really this should be the focus, is making sure that you're properly rated. If you can't find a free accredited representative to help you through the process, we're here to help you. Evidence-based VA claims, information's in the description and in the comments, okay? We are a small, intimate team here to help you. Tons of knowledge, from a former accredited veteran service officer to a former VA rater, in-house here helping you with your claim to make sure that you're on the right track. So two things: you get a free email consultation, and we guarantee that you will get an increase in your ratings. Now, there's nothing to lose. You should absolutely take advantage of it if you're not sure that you're properly rated, or you think that there may be a place for an increase. So with that being said, let's dive into this. An annual COLA, cost of living adjustment, has been announced, and we are looking at a 2.8% increase. This is impacting veterans by increasing the monthly VA benefits to keep pace with inflation, ensuring their purchasing power is maintained. For the 2026, the increase is the 2.8% and applies to various benefits like VA disability compensation, pensions, and survivor benefits. The specific amount of the increase varies based on the veteran's disability rating and the number of dependents. Now, again, I'll give you a few numbers at different percentage rates as veterans standing alone, just to share that information here in a minute. So How it works, right? Inflation protection is really what COLA is, right? Is it enough? No, it's never enough. It's always kind of lagging, in my opinion. COLA is an automatic annual adjustment that increases benefits. If there's a percentage increase, it'll never be negative. But if there's a percentage increase in inflation, then we should see a COLA. If it's flat or negative, we should stay at a zero. All right, economic indicator, the adjustment is based on the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, and specifically the indice CPIW, a measure of average change over time for in the price paid for a market basket of consumer goods and services. It's tied to Social Security. The VA's COLA percentage is set to match the percentage increase announced by the Social Security Administration. So again, Social Security figures it all out. They apply it to Social Security. As soon as it's announced, VA then is allowed to mirror that number through legislation. Okay, every year they have to essentially sign off on the VA being able to do that. And again, there's no negative adjustments. If inflation is ever in a negative, the COLA would then be zero, but never a negative. All right, impacts on benefits, on VA benefits. VA disability compensation is the number one, and we all think of this. Recipients will see a monthly increase in their payments of VA disability compensation. And again, after I get through these couple other things, I'll give you a few numbers here to go with. The other thing that it impacts at the VA is pensions. So VA pensions. Veterans receiving VA pensions will also get the 2.8% increase to help maintain their purchasing power. For those that don't know, VA pension is not a retirement for VA workers. VA pension is actually VA non-service connected pension, and it is I call it a low and no income safety net benefit for veterans who served at least one day during a war period. Now, this is not, VA disability compensation is preferred, if that makes the most sense, but in some cases, VA pension might actually make sense for some veterans out there. VA pension is a great safety net program, like I said. There's different variances on how much your maximum allowable pension would be. If you have, dependents, if you're housebound or require aid and attendance, those types of things. But just to use easy numbers, let's say that your maximum allowable pension is, just again to use easy numbers, $30,000 a year. Okay, $30,000 a year. Loosely how it works. This is not a video on how pension works. This is just giving you a broad overview. There's definitely more to it than this, but this gives you an idea of how it works. So if your maximum allowable pension rate is $30,000 a year based on your income, right? Well, now we got to look at income. Let's say that your Social Security income, that's what you're receiving. Social Security income is, let's say it's SSDI, and let's say that you're receiving, for example, I don't know, $15,000 a year. So now you're getting $15,000 a year from Social Security, and your maximum allowable is $30,000. You now have a $15,000 deficit there between the two. So VA's pension would be $15,000 loosely. There's some other calculations that go in there, but that gives you that's the big bulk of it, right? So you would get $15,000 from Social Security, $15,000 pension, combined $30,000 takes you to the maximum allowable rate of $30,000. So it is a program that's out there that could definitely help some folks. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Next one, survivor benefits. Families of deceased veterans receiving dependency and indemnity compensation, that's DIC, dependency indemnity compensation, will also see an increase in their monthly payments. All right, last one, clothing allowance. The clothing allowance is this is an annual allowance for veterans who get that clothing allowance for having either a prosthetic or skin creams that are damaging their clothing. That will also see an increase. So let's talk about a few of the numbers here real quick. So 2.8% increase for a 10% rated veteran alone, you're looking at $4.91. So, I mean, it's not much. For a, let's say, 30%, you're looking at $15.05. 50% rating, you're looking at a $30 and I believe 86 cents. And again, this is veteran alone. So 50, 60, 70, let's say 70% is $49.26. 90% is $64.34, and a 100% rated veteran is $107.28. All right, so I think that the monkey math is right, but in any case, it should be somewhere around there. And again, you'll see this in that January check. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you very much. Have a great one, and remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.